Hello, I wanted to share with you today 5 things that Donald and I do to help us have a more sufficient lifestyle. Donald and I live in a neighborhood. We live in a development on about a quarter of an acre. And these are 5 things that we do that's helped us to be more self-sufficient in the time that we've lived here. The first and simple thing is to plant seeds. You'd be surprised how many tomatoes you can get from a tomato plant, how many squash you can get from a squash plant, how many cucumbers you can get from planting cucumbers, and herbs and flowers. It's a beneficial thing, and it's an easy thing to start off with. It's just to simply plant seeds. You'll need some potting soil, and any kind of potting soil will do. And some kind of container. It can be as big and fancy as you want it to be, or it can be recycled containers like this paint bucket or this coffee can. This was a rotisserie chicken container. It's what I start some seeds in. This is the basil I started in it, and it works really well. The next suggestion I have is to plant edible landscape. These are red buds. I did a video on how to make red bud jelly. Plant an edible landscape. The blooms and the pods are edible on this red bud tree, and the leaves are beautiful. The heart-shaped leaves make this a beautiful tree to grow. There's also a little apple tree back there. Here are blueberry bushes. You can plant those in a pot and put them on a deck or a patio, no matter how small a space you have. And they're beautiful and edible. The next tip is just have a few hens. If you live in a neighborhood, or if you're able to, you can house a few hens and they'll give you fresh eggs every day. You don't need a rooster to have eggs. Having fresh eggs to go in your dishes or just to eat alone as a meal is a wonderful addition to your grocery budget. Number 4 is learn to forage. These are elderberry plants that Donald and I foraged. These have been here about 3 years. We found some and we just dug them up down at the root and transplanted them in pots until they were big enough to put into our yard. Elderberries have berries and flowers on them that have medicinal properties to them. We foraged for these, and they're in an addition to our landscape and to our medicine cabinet. We also forage plantain. Plantain is an excellent plant. It grows in most people's yards, and it can grow in fields. And if you don't have a yard or a place to harvest plantain, find somebody that has property and ask them if you can come and harvest some of the plantain. It also has medicinal properties. You can make salve out of this, and it makes a delicious green added to salads or to be cooked and ate that way. The same goes with the wonderful dandelion. The flowers are good to make jelly, and you can make tea. The leaves and the roots are edible. So learning to forage makes an excellent addition when you're trying to be self-sufficient, or if you have a little space. And last but not least is compost. That's one of the easiest things you can do. You can compost on a small, tiny scale or a large scale. We just have a kitchen composter out here at our back door, and this is where we throw our kitchen scraps in. This compost makes a wonderful addition to our seeds, our flowers, our flower gardens, and composting is an easy way to use scraps and make a useful product. There's 5 simple tips that most anybody can do to head their journey to self-sufficiency and just to improve the quality of life. Thank you for joining me today, and like always, until next time.